Hello and welcome to Little Drops of Wonderful. This is my channel where I talk about all things knitting and crochet and creative, all the things that I love. And this particular little video is part of a series I'm doing over the course of the year for my Christmas jumper project, or my project Christmas jumper. I'd love to make myself a colourwork Christmas jumper, either knitted or crocheted. But I've decided to go with knitted, and it's going to take me a long time because I'm quite time poor and I'm a slow knitter as well. So I decided I would set myself the challenge of working on it all year. That way I don't have to rush myself, I can take my time, and hopefully by the end of the year I will have a lovely colourwork knitted Christmas jumper that I can proudly wear. So I'm going to move the camera because it's a weird angle. Hang on a minute. Now I'm in a bit of an awkward spot here. You can just see this looks a bit spooky actually. This is my wetsuit for paddleboarding. I've just bought it, which is why it's hanging there. I'm going to move it because it just looks really weird. You can probably also just here in the corner see a box, and on top of it, which I'm not going to touch because I'll break it, is Dan's birthday present to himself. It's the Batmobile or something like that, something to do with Batman Lego thing, which he treated himself to with his birthday money. We are in a disarray at the moment because we're in the middle of we're about to have our kitchen done, and we're also having a massive monumental declutter and sort out, so there's stuff everywhere at the moment. And I was trying to plan to do an update, and then I remembered that actually I wanted this sort of project across the year, and I know a lot of you are joining in with it, to be a really relaxed thing, and I didn't want to put lots of pressure on myself. And if I had an update, I just wanted to be able to put the camera on, even if the light's really weird because it suddenly got really sunny after raining all morning. It's now really sunny, so I'm in a really shady part of the room and it's just playing with the light a bit. I just want to be able to put the camera on and tell you where I am with my colourwork Christmas jumper. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I was going to check the Ravelry thread to see what's going on in there, but I'm just going to do that as I'm chatting to you. So first and foremost, you would have seen me in the sunbeam on my bedroom floor, putting down my little notions bag, and I thought I'd just show you it. This is by my friend Becky of Back to Blighty. She made this for me a few years ago now, and I love this bag so much. I keep my tape measures and measuring things and etc. in here, and I've got a few little stitch markers and useful things, and then I've got this beautiful Highland Coup keyring from, oh, is that focusing or is it too shiny, from Julie at So Unique. Her daughter Adele, who is Toadstool House Art, designs and makes these. Aren't they brilliant? I love their Highland Coup stuff. So in here I have just got out my one and only gauge measuring thing. It's only a 2-inch thing, but it does the job. And I am going to now work out whether I've got gauge. Now I decided on the pattern. I spoke in the last video about all the different patterns and ideas. So if you want a load of ideas for Christmas jumpers, both crochet and knit, please go back and watch that. I've chosen a knitted pattern, but I am also tempted to raid my vast yarn stash and maybe go for a crochet one as well. But I know that I always give myself too much to do, so I'm trying to stick to the main focus at the moment, but I'll see how it's going and how I feel as the year progresses. So I have chosen to make the Festive Yoke Pullover by Skein Deer Knits. It has 20 different charts within the pattern, so you can really make it your own and choose which motifs you want. And you also have the option to do it just as a colourwork yoke and the rest plain. It's top down, or you can do the whole thing colourwork. So that's a really good option as well. It means that when I've completed the yoke, I can then decide whether I just want to keep going if I'm feeling confident with the colourwork, or if I just want to switch to plain knitting. And also you've got the option to do colourwork sleeves or plain and so on. And I just really like the flexibility of the design. I liked the neckline, and I liked all the different options and ways to customise. And I've never knit one of Ellie's patterns at Skein Deer Knits before, so I thought it all combined to make a really good pattern to choose. And then I started searching around for yarn. The pattern picture is a beautiful red and white colourwork jumper, which I have to say originally I did have in my mind, but the more I researched and looked at pictures and so on, the more I began to think that I would really like to have a green one. So I've been shopping around and I found this yarn. It's quite rustic, but it feels like it's rustic in a way that I can tolerate. It feels rustic but not prickly at the moment anyway. It's hard to tell until it's knit up and you're wearing it, isn't it? So, but you know, it seems okay at the moment. And the yarn is Sandness Garn, and this is the name of it. I won't try and say it and get it all wrong. So it's Sandness Garn, that's the name of the yarn. It is a sport weight, I think. Pretty sure it's a sport weight. It is 50 grams is 205 meters. Oh no, hang on. 205, so that'd be 410 meters per 100 grams. So yeah, that would be a fingering weight, wouldn't it? A fingering weight yarn. And the pattern is a sport weight, but I think I could probably get away with using a fingering weight depending on gauge, which I don't know yet. I bought the yarn, oh, so I should say I got 3 colours because I didn't know if I wanted to go for the green and the grey or the green and the very light grey. So it's like a darker grey and a lighter grey. The light grey is almost white, but it isn't. So I wasn't sure. So I got 3 to swatch with to see what I preferred, the contrast of. And I bought it from SKD Yarns. They're based in Chester here in the United Kingdom. Yeah. Scandinavian Knitting Design, SKD Yarns. Try and show you this without showing my address. This is just the invoice. There we go. And that's where I got it, and it was quite affordable. Each ball was £3.95, so really affordable. So I'm really hoping that I have some success with the swatch for this yarn. So let's measure it. So the gauge is 24 stitches by 36 rows, is 4" squared in stockinette stitch stranded colourwork. Okay, so that would be 12 stitches per 2 inches for the stitches, because I've only got my little 2" gauge. What I will do though, if it looks like I've got gauge, I will also measure a bigger section as well. And the swatch that I've done, I decided that I don't like swatching because it just seems like such a waste of yarn and time. So I decided to make some little hand warmers. I don't think I'll even do a thumb. I think I'll literally just have them as little wristy hand warmers, or maybe I'll do a thumb. I don't know. I'll see how confident I'm feeling. So I just did a really basic little rib, and then I just took 2 of the charts, a Christmas tree and a snowflake, and I've just done the wrist part of my little swatchy hand warmer. Obviously this isn't blocked. The gauge doesn't say whether it should be blocked or not, so I might measure it both. And this yarn is 100% Norwegian wool. And I'm going to measure it now. So let's have a look. Okay, so I'm getting a smaller gauge. I'm getting 17 stitches for 2 inches. So that would be 34. So it's 10 more stitches that I'm getting for the gauge than is required. I am using 2.75mm needles. Now that is quite small, and the reason that I went for smaller needles was because I do knit quite loosely. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to block it, but I don't know if it, because it doesn't say whether that should be blocked or not. I don't know. Let me know if you're more experienced in this kind of thing. If the gauge given in the pattern doesn't specify blocked or not, should I therefore assume that that is an unblocked gauge? And if so, if I block my gauge, is that going to make a difference? Because I've still got to knit to the correct gauge, regardless of what the blocked gauge will end up being. So I'm going to continue with this little mitt, And then I'm going to switch over and do my second mitt using the darker grey as well. So I'll end up with 2 mitts basically at different gauges with different colours. So 2 pairs. I will make and complete the 2 pairs. Then they'll match my jumper, won't they? So I've got a bit more work to do, but I'd love to know what you do if a pattern doesn't specify that, and whether or not I should take that as meaning unblocked gauge. Brilliant. Okay, so maths and gauge aside, we have far more important things to worry about, and that is if I'm going to have a project on the go for a year, I need a really good project bag. Now, I got down my vast collection of project bags and I was going through them, and I have so much choice. I had about 10, 15 bags. I know, I've got way more than that, and I am not ashamed of it. I love those bags. I use them for everything. But I had so many that I could have used. And then I got something in the post because lovely Heather at Lemon Tree Corner, I was going to say Lemon Tree Yarns, but I knew that wasn't right. Lemon Tree Corner sent me one of her bags. She said it had my name all over it, not literally, but she said it was very me. And she also sent me one for a giveaway, which if you watch my last podcast, you will have seen already. And as soon as I saw this bag, I thought, well, that's it. This is the bag I can live with all year round. It says summer to me, it says spring, it says autumn, and it says Christmas all at once. And I love it so much. It is perfect. And here it is. So here's her label, and here is the print. It is the most gorgeous Alice in Wonderland print. I love Alice in Wonderland. I love how whimsical it is. I love how weird it is and magical it is. I love all kinds of art related to Alice in Wonderland. And look, the contrast has got all of the suits of card symbols, and then inside it's got the same fabric as well. See the Queen of Hearts there as well, and also there's pockets on the inside, and there's a little thing for holding your stitch markers there as well. And this is her card. So this is going to be my year-long Christmas jumper bag. I've got a feeling it will get quite stuffed full at times because it's a good size, and I think I'm going to have to do a bit of stuffing of jumper in there, but that's fine. I can live with that. Okay, so I think that means I'm going to have a little catch up on the Ravelry thread and we'll see what's going on there. But I think my to-do list now is to complete my first little swatchy hand warmer and start my second little swatchy hand warmer in the darker grey yarn with the green and bigger needles. And in the meantime, block the finished little hand warmer to get an idea of how the yarn behaves, how it blooms, and what it does, and what the fabric looks like with 2.75. Then I'm going to go up, I think, to 3.25 maybe. Or will that then make it too big? I'm not sure if I'll go up to a 3 or a 3.25 for my next swatch. Not sure. I might wait and see what you all say in the comments before I decide. And then I am going to get started. So as soon as I've worked out that gauge, I will get started on the actual knitting of the jumper, which is a bit nerve-wracking. But I'd love to get it on the go pretty soon. I'd like to have it so that I can work on it in the next school half term in May. And I'd like to have it well underway by the time I go on holiday in August, because I want to knit memories into it over the course of the year. So it's quite important that I want to be able to be confident and away with it by then. And also by August, quite honestly, that's not really a lot of knitting time until I want it to wear in December, maybe even November. Okay, let's have a little look at Ravelry and see what everyone's saying. I can see that the last post was 3 days ago, and I haven't been in there in a couple of weeks because I've been doing April vlogs over on my vlogging channel, This Little Wonderful Life, and that takes up so much time. Okay, let's see. Okay, Nicola Knits is joining in. Laura 83 is joining in. Puck Vossen is joining in with the Perfect Christmas Jumper Pattern by Susan Crawford. That's a lovely one. think that's out of my league, that one. Fran Hauk is joining in. Marissa of Rise at Dawn 75 is joining in. Oh, that's lovely to see. And, oh, this is going to take... Oh, Hillary. What's Hillary saying? Ruratha. Oh, she's not going to do it because it's going to be 30 to 40 degrees on Christmas Day where she lives in Australia. Courtney AC is joining in. Macy Blue, Miss Knits, Carol G. William. Oh, she's already ordered her yarn. God, there's over 60 posts in here. Nicola Knits, you have been very chatty. It's always lovely to see you chatting away in there. Joyful Stash. Lycac66 is joining in. Ellie, Will To I Am. Oh, she's going to join in. She's going to knit a cardigan, apparently. Oh, Belinda, BO2L Stone. She is going to knit an antique flora pattern, which looks amazing. Are you already knitting it? Oh my goodness, she started on the 1st of February and she's into it already. She's already knit a load of the yoke. Amazing. Oh, I've just noticed that Puck Vossen, who is Puck in the Netherlands, has started an Instagram discussion over there so they can share video updates with each other and so on. So if you want a bit of information on that, make sure you head to the Ravelry chatter thread, which I'll link to underneath. Lots of people are planning on yarn they're going to be buying. Elena, Going and Growing, she's joining in. La Aguajadella Bruja, that's the best username ever. I think you're joining in. You and your usernames, you lot. Jalaylala is joining in as well. Some of you are joining in not necessarily just with Christmas or festive patterns, but just with really nice colourwork projects. And Puck is making a freestyle kind of colour block festive cardigan, which is already looking amazing. Another update from Belinda. My goodness, Belinda, you're going to have that finished by, like, May, I think. I haven't even got my swatch right yet. Jeanette, Jint65, you're joining in. Oh, she's got tennis elbow, so she can't join in until later in the year, but she does have one already on the go, which she wants to finish. So yeah, bring it into this little make. It's very relaxed, this make along. Just join in. I'll see if I can maybe throw together a little prize for the end of the year or something Christmassy at the end of the year or something. But it's going to be a very relaxed, very chilled out make along. There's lots of great chatter here as well. Very inspiring. I might have to, when I have a bath later, I might have to sit and have a little look through. Oh, I hope that's not too boring, just watching me getting excited about the Ravelry thread. So there we are. So that's my little update for now. I've got a little to-do list. How are you getting on? Make sure you let me know in the comments what you're going to be doing. Are you going to knit a jumper? Are you going to crochet a jumper? Are you going to do colour work? What are your Christmas jumper knitting plans? Have you got gauge? Is anyone at the same stage as me, or is everyone just way better? I told you I was slow. That's why I need to do this. Right, I'm going to go and put all my yarn in my fabulous bag and find another set of bigger needles and get going. England women's rugby team have just won something.
They've won the Six Nations Grand Slam for women.
Oh, that sounds good. Well done then.
For the 5th time in a row.
Of course, they're amazing. Right. This arrived in the post. And this is, I don't know if it's going to be a contender or not, but this is another option for my Christmas jumper. It's a couple of weeks later, by the way. Actually, about 3 weeks later. Oh, thank you guys. So I ordered this contangled yarn as another option because I figured I need more than one option, don't I? Oh, how cute is that? Look at it all. Hang on, there's a thing in. Look at it all wrapped up in brown paper. Oh my God, Marissa assistant is healthy. Ooh. So this is from Tangled Yarn. It is Vovo Rosa Roman. I think that's Romar. It's a little bit more rustic and it is listed as a sport weight yarn. Have a look at this. I'm going to compare it to the other one that I showed before. Isn't that an amazing label? I love that label. I understand Vovo means grandmother. I think that's right. Oh look, she's knitting in this one and hugging a sheep in this one. So these are my two options for, because I did fancy doing my sweater in green, but I also ordered this red because I just thought it looked lovely, and it is lovely. It's gorgeous. And then this grey was the lightest they did, which I thought would be the contrast. I think it contrasts really well with the green. Would that be enough of a contrast with the red? And these are 50-gram balls, and they are £6.50 for a 50-gram ball. So they're a little bit more expensive than the other choice of yarn, but still that works out at what, £13 per 100 grams. So it's, yeah, I would say it's on the upper side of what I want to pay. But I'm going to do a swatch with these as well and see how it's looking. Do you like my furrow and bore paint samples here in front of the bare plastered wall? It's about a week later, and I said in the video, I've just been editing it, that I was going to compare the two yarns. So I'm going to do that now because I forgot on the day. So this is the new yarn that I'm going to do a swatch with as well. This is the Rosa Romar by Vovo, which is a sport weight yarn. It's sold as a sport weight. Let's point the camera down. And this is my original yarn, which is by Sandnes Garn, and it's the Tin Peer Gint. It's 100% Norwegian wool. So here's the two together. I chose the two different colours, so it was obvious which one was which. So the green is my original yarn, and the red is the one that I've just got that's the sport weight. Fingers in need of moisturiser, Model Zone. Oh, this is really hard to get into focus. What can I put it on? What about my phone? They look the same, don't they? I would say that the red definitely had a thicker look to it, if I had to pick one. Oh yeah, when you see it there, you can see, can't you? I'd say the red is slightly thicker. Oh, I'm really looking forward to doing a swatch with this. It's Thursday today, and I'm going to be having a lovely early night. I'm going to take a cup of hot milk to bed, and I'm going to watch some knitting podcasts and some book vlogs, and I'm going to get swatching. Just want to show you quickly, for my birthday I've got this gorgeous chicken bag charm from Suzanne at Green Lumpkin Yarns. It's got a bell on it. So of course that had to go on my project bag for my year-long project. Although to be honest, by the time I get knitting, it's going to be more of a 6-month project because it's taking me forever to get round to it, isn't it?